Hello and welcome. This is Tavern Chat, and I am your host, your bartender, Eric Tenkar. So today, well, a little bit of a rant, then an announcement I think is pretty cool, and then what I may be doing tomorrow in the midst of the blizzard of 2021 in New York City. So, here's the rant. All right. I was instructed early on in my career, when I was still a cop, that if I ever became a supervisor, a boss, a sergeant, or that you praise in public, you reprimand in private. Now, I kind of stretched that in my career. I would reprimand in public, but I would not name names. They might know who I'm talking about when I say, this will never happen to me as a sergeant again. I will never get fucked over again. This is a group lesson. I'm not naming names. I'm not pointing fingers. But this exact incident will never happen again because the next person that does it will get fucked, right? You can say that. And I'm not pointing fingers at people, right? So when you do a public shaming list on a Facebook group, and no, I wasn't named on it, okay? But when you do a public shaming list on a Facebook group, first off, you ban somebody. And I listen, I always feel if I have to ban somebody, on some level, I failed, right? It means that this person somehow felt that they could ignore the rules. And it's almost a failure on the community's part that we have to ban somebody. But if I ban somebody, I will generally make a statement that reminder, certain topics such as politics and real world social issues are verboten topics in this community. They certainly are important to a lot of people. I understand that. And that being said, there are more appropriate venues for such conversations. This is not one of them, and violators will be removed. And I feel bad that I have to remind people of this. Okay. So, now that I've said that, there's a community on Facebook that announced I shouldn't say the community announced, the owner announced a new person was banned with that whole, bright graphic showing it. And then followed that with a list of the 15 people that have been banned so far, like he's putting notches in his fucking belt. If you have to ban 15 people from your community, and I'm not talking about spammers, all right? I'm not talking about people posting links to sex sites or date sites or shit, or somebody who's just being a total tool. If you have to ban 15 people and you're proud of it and you're making a list of it, you know what? You're a fucktard. That's what it comes down to. You're not a leader. That's not how you lead. All right. You don't lead by embarrassing people. I understand the individual in question, and I've come head to head with the individual, believes that you win by intimidation or who's got the biggest private parts. You know what? That may work in the bar. May help you on a street corner fight, but no, not in these types of communities. It doesn't help you. So that's my rant. Gonna go on to the news part. Okay, and I think it's kind of interesting. Legends of Role-Playing grew out of the incredibly successful Legends of Role-Playing tournament featured at GaryCon each year. These highly popular adventures are now being published here through Legends of Role-Playing. In addition to these, all new old-school adventures are being planned. But these aren't just old-school adventures in name and appearance. They are old-school adventures, heart and soul. They are written, edited, illustrated, mapped, and playtested by the Legends of Role-Playing themselves. That's right, the band is getting back together. At one point in time, TSR, the company that brought us Dungeons & Dragons and Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, had the magic It had a gathering of the most talented creative people in the gaming industry. Now, those former TSR creators have recaptured their magic with adventure designs by Rob Kuntz, Jim Ward, Mike Carr, Alan Hammock, and Kevin Hendricks. Cartography by Steve Sullivan. Artwork by Jeff D., Errol Otis, Darlene, Dave Diesel LaForce, Harry Quinn, and Jeff Easley. Join us. The adventures you seek are at hand. The website in question, real easy for you to get to, legendsofroleplaying.com. Now, first, if you go and you see what they're going to have for sale, they have for sale a bunch of maps by Rob Kuntz, the El Raja Key Archive. They have from Rob Kuntz, the game that changed everything, a $15 monograph by Rob Kuntz, 12-page, full-color, glossy booklet with full-color art and figures. It lavishly recalls and details the event that led to the creation of Dungeons & Dragons in the early 1970s. And then they go forward from there. They are publishing adventures. LR1 Beyond the Living Room by Robert J. Kuntz. 36-page adventure for a group of 4 to 9 adventurers, levels 5 to 8. Come to the special 4-page pull-out section and maps, printed inside a sturdy cardstock cover that can stand on its own for use as a game screen during gameplay. That is $30. Now, I didn't necessarily choke at $30 for a 36-page adventure. I have to ask, and maybe this is a bit facetious, and if so, forgive me, if the Rob Kuntz pieces, if they come with authentic Rob Kuntz cigarette smoke packed in with the packages. Now, of the first 3 releases, James Ward has one. After this, James Ward has one, and Paul Stormberg has 2. Paul was not listed, though, because he wasn't part of the original TSR team. So he wasn't listed in that press release. But I do believe this is his company, or he's a main mover and swinger behind it. So, there you go. You got a rant, you got a piece of news, and then you're going to get a preview. So now listen, we're getting hit with the storm of the year in New York City, the East Coast. We're getting slanted. Really, it's a dusting right now, but tomorrow is supposed to be like whiteout conditions, blizzard conditions. New York City is looking at 16 to 22 inches of snow. I have a doctor's appointment at 12:40 in the afternoon out in Long Island. I assume they're going to cancel it tomorrow, but hey, fuck it, whatever. So I have a new GoPro 9 camera and a nice selfie stick, and I want to go out in the storm, and I'm hopefully going to talk about when I happened to kill a party using the weather tables in the World of Greyhawk box set. Ooh, that one came out after the folio. Yeah, I did that. I'm not proud of it, but I did that. So that's the game plan, to take a walk in a blizzard and talk about that shit. And then I'll put it up on YouTube, and I'll try to rip the audio out and put it up here. And we'll have fun and sing songs and yay! No, it should be a lot of fun. Again, I'm trying to do more stuff that's not just like live, but quasi-live or I don't know. I'm trying to push the boundaries. I mean, I've been blogging now for about close to a dozen years. The podcast is going to be 3 years old this spring, and now we're also live streaming and putting up stuff on YouTube. This is not going to be a live stream. I can't live stream on YouTube until I have 1,000 subscribers. I've got 246. So we got a long way to go before I can live stream off of mobile, which is what I was trying to do. Because apparently you can go from your GoPro to your phone and then go there, but it doesn't. You can't go mobile live stream on YouTube until you have at least 1,000 peeps that will watch you or follow you, some shit like that. Folks, we are still in the midst of the world of COVID. I can't stress that enough. All right. Use your common sense. I'm going to not be using some of my common sense when I go for a walk in a blizzard tomorrow. I will admit that. I think that's going to be, but at least it's going to be a fun ignoring of my common sense. But use your common sense. You say your characters have it. When I tell you, when you say, I open the door, when you grab the handle, you find out it was trapped. Well, I'm not stupid. I have common sense. My character would never just grab a handle. I have a whole procedure before I grab a handle of a door. Well, you know what? Maybe you do. Well, you know what? You have common sense. Just use it in this current world of COVID. Be safe. Be well. God bless each and every one. Those that are going to be in the midst of this winter storm, blizzard, nor'easter, whatever the fuck it is. Again, use your common sense, all right? Roll your dice well. And knock on wood, I will talk with you alls tomorrow. All right, folks. Laters. Well, after all that, I forgot to actually go back and look at the initial announcement, partnership announcement, the RJK Estate and Legends of Role Playing and TLB Games. Now, apparently, this was an announcement initially back in the summer of 2020. Because this says as of August 24th, 2020. The Kuntz Estate and Legends of Role Playing and TLB Games, owned and operated by Paul J. Stomberg. So you see, there you go. That's the connection. And a historic deal in which the latter acquired the exclusive publishing and limited licensing rights to Robert J. Kuntz's published and unpublished RPG titles. The far-ranging agreement includes the right to develop Osric system RPG materials from Kuntz's extensive original Greyhawk Castle levels used in playtesting in the D&D game. Mr. Kuntz has reserved select titles and projects related to his world of Calibrun and Castle El Rajaki for development as CRPG offerings or as future print releases under the Osric system or other systems. Mr. Kuntz states that he sees no better outlet for the curation, development, and promulgation of his RPG literary works than through Paul Stormberg and his companies, TLB Games and Legends of Role-Playing. The agreement includes hands-on consulting from the RJK Estate regarding his thousands of pages of manuscripts, project notes, art, and maps. Our first Legend of Role-Playing release, Adventures LR1 Beyond the Living Room, will be available January 31st, 12 noon, when the Legends of Role-Playing website goes live. It's live, legendsofroleplaying.com. Our first new TLB Games release, The Game That Changed Everything, a monograph by Robert J. Kuntz on the event that led to the creation of Dungeons & Dragons, and a line of old-school cool posters for your game room or home office, will be available January 31st, 12 noon, on the TLB Games website. That's www.tlbgames.com. But you can get it all. They're all linked. So go legendsofroleplaying.com. You'll find it. You can see news and updates before then on our Facebook page, Legends of Role-Playing. There, I forgot to add that. So I'm adding that as an addendum to the as of now completed episode of the podcast. Jesus. All right. Later.